So, it turns out that Aquaman is the first DC Extended Universe movie to cross that magical $1 billion mark. It's actually the first DC film to pass it since Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight. Currently, Aquaman has earned roughly $288 million at the domestic box office and $742 internationally, bringing the total up over $1 billion. I'm sure that Warner Brothers will be able to squeeze a bit more money out of it because it's not quite done in theaters yet. So it's definitely going to get, I would assume, probably 1.1 billion, something like that, maybe almost 1.2. That's just my guess. Now, even though I think a lot of us really did think that Aquaman was going to perform quite well at the box office, we weren't assuming it was going to be a box office flop. For me, I know that I'm surprised that it surpassed that 800 million mark. I was thinking it was likely going to top out around 800 million and probably not make it much further than that. So for this film, Aquaman, to surprise us all and outdo Man of Steel, Dawn of Justice, Wonder Woman, and Justice League, for it to have outdone all of those movies is really quite surprising. Aquaman's not the character you'd think would be a massive box office draw. I'm just gonna read off, and in no particular order, a list of other DC films and what their box office draws were. So for DC films in the post-Christopher Nolan era, Man of Steel topped out at 668 million globally, Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice at 873.6 million, Suicide Squad 746.8 million, Wonder Woman 821.8, and Justice League at 657.9 million. Aquaman outdid them all. So let me get into some of the reasons why I was personally a little bit surprised that it did so well, but then also some of the reasons why I think that may be. So of course I'm surprised because it's Aquaman, and Aquaman's an underdog character, and no one ever thinks of taking an Aquaman movie seriously, right? He was always like one of the high-tier people in DC, but one of the people in the Justice League that a lot of people didn't really care about. You only really cared about him when he was gone. And the time that Aquaman became the coolest to people was in the 90s when he got all dark and then he had the hook for a hand. A lot of people were like, Aquaman got really cool there because he got all dark and brooding and really badass. Before that, a lot of people didn't really care about Aquaman. They were just like, oh, he's a guy that dresses like a goldfish. Big deal. Ooh, he can ride a seahorse and make circles come out of his forehead. DC even made fun of that at the New 52 relaunch when Aquaman first appeared in that first Justice League story, saying, oh yeah? You think I could just talk to fish? And then, oh my god, all kinds of great big sea creatures come up and Aquaman is commanding them all like a boss! Truthfully, I've always liked the character of Aquaman, right since the time I was just a little gaffer. But I still wouldn't have thought that he would outdo the likes of DC's Titans, their Trinity, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. And yet, here we are. We're having this conversation. Another reason why I'm a little bit surprised that it did so well is because, yes, a lot of us DC fans totally got behind Jason Momoa's portrayal of Aquaman as something that is fun and entertaining, and we just kind of swallowed it and said, hey, this Aquaman is not the Aquaman of the main DC universe, he is something different. And then when they showed Aquaman in the royal armor, the orange and green, fans were like, oh yeah! I personally think that Justice League would have done better at the box office had they just stuck him in that armor in the first place. But a lot of fans didn't like Jason Momoa's portrayal as Aquaman. They hated the casting in the first place. They were like, Jason Momoa as Aquaman is a dumb choice and the guy acts like a stump. Now, when I try to wrap my mind around some of the reasons why Aquaman surpassed my expectations, I suppose it makes sense. For one, the tone of Aquaman is certainly a lot brighter. It's a lot less darker and gritty, less philosophical. People want to come out of a superhero movie feeling excited, feeling enthralled, feeling like they've just seen an amazing spectacle, something that gets them excited. And I don't think that Dawn of Justice did that for people. Fans, a lot of fans, and a lot of just average moviegoers weren't happy with the experience of these movies. Aquaman, just judging by the trailer, if you just watch the trailer footage, the promotional footage, really seemed like it was going to be a completely different experience. Something that was going to make you forget how long you've been in the theater and just completely be drawn in to the movie and have a really wonderful time of escapism from your regular life, which is why we go to movies. It's escapism. I think the overall tone change for the DC film universe being definitely marked with Aquaman really made a difference. Not only that, I mean, you have the smoking hot Amber Heard And then you also have Jason Momoa, which every single woman that I know personally that I've mentioned Jason Momoa to, they all say the same thing, that he is gorgeous. So they're both going to be box office draws. So with banging trailers, a tone change, a cast that is going to be more of a box office draw for some people, I think that it was just naturally going to do better. The fact that it did $1 billion, I suppose I really shouldn't be surprised. So what does the financial smash hit success of Aquaman at the global box office really mean for the future of the DC film universe? Well, I think that A, the future of the DC universe's tone is now going to be dictated by Aquaman and Shazam and movies like that. Wonder Woman 84 certainly seems like it's going to have a brighter tone. Not only that, but I think that it sends a big message to Warner Brothers that says, hey, we can make films that surpass our expectations at the global box office, so let's make more. That means I think that we're definitely going to see a whole lot more DC Comics movies produced in the future. Where Warner Brothers might have been considering slowing down, I think that that is going to be completely and totally wiped away because this exceeds even Warner Brothers' idea of how much it was going to make. That's a good thing. But hey, these are just my ideas and opinions, and I'm sure you're gonna have your own, so please take the time to leave them down in the comment section below. If you liked this video, please leave a like on it. If you want to see more of my face and a lot of my hands, because I do a lot of action figure reviews too, just hit that big red subscribe button, doink the bell so that you never miss a video. And super friends, I will see you next time. Have an awesome day. Take care.